Hey everybody! So, I want you to give me your absolute, positively, complete attention today, boys and girls, because what we're about to do is going to take like 4 different lessons we've had throughout the year and we're going to smush them all together into a new skill. So, we've talked a lot throughout the year about ED and what different sounds ED makes and how to decide what sounds ED makes. So let's do a quick review of that. So I know if I take the word bat, I like to bat when we play baseball. And if I turn bat into past tense and I add ed, well, the first thing I know I have to do is I have to add another T. But I also have to know what sound ed makes. It either says d, t, or ed. Well, I have to look at the last sound in bat. That's t, 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 is unvoiced. I put my hand on my throat, nothing vibrates. Okay? So naturally, ed should be unvoiced. It should say t. But after a T, you're not going to be able to hear that. So what does ed have to say instead? It has to say ed. So it's batted. Batted. I batted in last week's game. Well, what if I take the word back? Dad's going to back the car up. Well, what if he did it yesterday? Yesterday, I don't know how to say that word. I have to figure out how to say ed in this word. Well, to do that, I have to look at the last sound in back. Back. K, k. Well, if I put my hand on my throat, is unvoiced. So ed should be unvoiced. Backed. Backed. Dad backed the car into the garage last night. Backed. Well, what if I have the word... I gotta think of one that I don't have to change. Give me just a second. What if I have the word push? Oh, no, push won't work. I guess I should have had this one already planned out, shouldn't I? Well, let's do storm. The weather's going to storm. We'll have to... What if I want it to do yesterday? The weather storm that did this yesterday. Well, to know what ed is going to say, I have to look at my last sound. Put your hand on your throat. Say, Does it vibrate? It does. So M is what? It's voiced. So ed has to be what? Voiced. Our voiced ed says d, d. So it would be stormed. So we have a t, d, and an ed. And it all depends on what that last sound is. Okay, that was just the review. Bear with me, boys and girls. So, we've also talked throughout the year about how to make words plural, more than one. I have 1 pet dog. Well, Miss Oots has 2 pet dogs. I have more than one, so I have to add an S. Well, that S doesn't always sound the same. Depending on what's going on, sometimes that S sounds like S, sometimes that S sounds like Z, and sometimes you have to add ES and it sounds like easy. It all depends on that last sound. And you guessed it, whether that last sound is voiced. If it's voiced, it's going to say Z. If it's unvoiced, S is going to be unvoiced. Oop, that should be a D, not an S. And we know that ES goes with all of our weird endings, but we'll look at that in a little bit. So, let's look at this together. This word is pencil. If I want to make pencil more than one, I add an S. But I have to know what sound this S is going to make. What sound is going to determine what sound this S is going to make? I hope you said, oh. Put your hand on your throat and say, oh. Is it voiced or unvoiced? Do it again. Oh, it's voiced. So guess what this S is going to say? Z, pencils. Let's look at this next one. This word is pen. Well, to make pen more than one, I'm going to add an S. But I don't know if it's going to make the S sound or not. What sound is going to determine what sound this S is going to make? I hope you said Put your hand on your throat and say voiced or unvoiced. It vibrated, that means your voice box is on, so it's voiced. So it's going to be pens. Pens. You're going to notice, boys and girls, the S for plural sounds like a Z a lot. Let's look at this one. Book. I'm going to add an S. What sound determines what sound my S is going to make? Hope you said k, k, k. Put your hand on your throat. Say k, k, k. Okay, voiced or unvoiced? Ding, ding, ding. It's unvoiced. So we're going to have books. That's the first one that's made that normal S sound. Ooh, let's look at this one. Brush doesn't work the same. Because if we add just an S to the end of brush, voiced, unvoiced, it doesn't matter. That S is going to be really hard to hear. So what do we have to do? Do you remember? We have to add ES. And ES is always going to say is because is unvoiced. So brushes. So this one gives us that good EZ sound. Let's do this one. I add my S. Is what determines what my S is going to say. Put your hand on your throat. Unvoiced, which means that it's going to be our good unvoiced S sound. S. Unvoiced N sound, unvoiced S. What about this one? Oh, ball. Is L unvoiced or voiced? It's voiced. So our S has to be voiced. Balls. Balls. All right, what about this one? Hat. T, t. T is unvoiced, so what is our S going to say? It's unvoiced sound. S. Hats. All right, you've listened to me and you've watched me do and do and do and do. So what I need you to do is I need you to get your workbook out. And I want you to take out page 15.2. 15.2. Pause the video for a second and pull it out. Alright, boys and girls, we're going to do a couple of these together. And then I'm going to let you do some on your own, okay? So if you have somebody that does schoolwork with you, this is a great thing for them to watch so that they can help you. Sometimes mamas and daddies have a hard time with stuff like this too. So if they haven't been watching, now would be a good time for them to step in. Alright, let's look at these together. Now, they did the first couple together, but I still want us to talk about them. So I'm going to pull this in. So, let's talk about which sound goes with what. When our N sound is unvoiced, S is unvoiced. What is S's unvoiced sound? S. So, to help me, I'm going to write unvoiced right here. Now, excuse Miss Uza's handwriting. My table has texture to it, so it's kind of hard to write on sometimes. So, this is unvoiced. Well, when my N sound is voiced, what is S going to say? Zzz. So, I'm going to make a note here for voiced. Now, when do we use S? We already used it earlier with SH. I also use it with CH. I use it with S, and I use it with X. So that's kind of my cheat sheet for when we're going to use S. Alright, so I've got my notes. Is it okay to write those notes on my paper to help me remember? Definitely. That's a resource for you. You're always welcome to put stuff like that on your paper. Alright, so let's look at this word together. What's the end sound in this word before we add S? I can cover up my S if I need to. My end sound is going to be t, t, t. I'm going to use my highlighter and highlight that. Put your hand on your throat and say t, t, t. Is T voiced or unvoiced? It's unvoiced. So cat becomes cats. So I'm going to put it under my S sound. So we're going to trace where they put it. Remember, Miss Oots' let me see. This will help with Miss Oots' table that doesn't want to let me write. Alright, let's go to the next one. Cover up my S so I can see my N sound. What's my N sound in this word? G, g, dog, g. Alright, so I'm going to highlight that to help me. Put your hand on your throat, say g, dog, g. G is voiced. So what's my S going to say? Z, dog, z. So I'm going to add it under my Z sound. Dogs. Very good. Alright, let's go to my next word. Cover up my ES here. Why did they have to put ES on the end of this word? Fox ends in an X, which makes it sound like it ends in an S. If you added an S to the end of fox, that's what it would sound like. You wouldn't be able to hear that S to know it was plural. So instead of fox, it becomes fox es. So we put it under our EZ sound because it ends in X. Foxes. Alright, now we're going to do these two. I don't want to do those two. I'm going to pick a random two. These two end in the same letter, so I don't want to do both of those. Let's do this one together, though. Alright, so I'm going to cover up my S, and that makes this word end in what? So I'm going to highlight it. Shark. Put your hand on your throat. Shark. Is that K voiced or unvoiced? Unvoiced. So if my K is unvoiced, my S is unvoiced. Sharks. Sharks. When you write it, make sure you spell it right and you don't put any extra spaces in your words. And make sure you put that S so it's plural, more than one. I don't want to swim with sharks. Miss Luke doesn't really want to swim with a shark either. Let's do this one instead of that one. Let's do this one. Oh, you can't see me. There we go. So I cover up my S. Crab. B. I'm going to highlight my B to help me. Put your hand on your throat. B. 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 B is voiced. So what's our S going to be? Voiced. So I'm going to write crabs under my Z sound. Now, I'm going to let you go through and do the other half of your words. Moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, uncles, if y'all have a hard time with this, shoot me a message and I'll send you some more resources. I'll do a couple more with you. This is a pretty tough skill. And let's be honest, as adults, this is a skill that most of the time we don't realize that we do. When we're reading, your voice naturally changes those sounds. I tell my kids all the time, before I started teaching first grade, I didn't know a lot of these rules. I had no idea this was a thing until we started teaching CKLA. So if you have a hard time with this, please do not be embarrassed to shoot me a message and I'll talk you through it, okay? I can do a video and we can do something together. It's really not a big deal. Let me know if you need some help. If not, blow through those last 5 words and post your picture of it. You're going to do great, and I know that you're going to nail this.